I have a problem. I love playing games, but I have way too many of them to play and I just keep buying more. I'm going to make a video about every game I complete to discuss what I think about it as incentive to work through them. This is Backlogged. I've always said that when it comes to local multiplayer games, few people can really touch Nintendo. After all, arguably among the best local multiplayer series ever created are Mario Kart and Smash Bros, legends of the genre and games anyone can pick up and play and have fun with. And even beyond that, games like Wii Sports, Nintendo Land and Mario Party are wildly popular or beloved for just being really good, or capitalising on what people want in local multiplayer games. They are not, however, the only company who can make excellent local multiplayer experiences. Towerfall is a game I fell in love with pretty much as soon as I played it, and I've always found it to be one of the easiest games to pick up and understand. Stick Fight the game is so bizarre and hectic, and it lets you use a snake bazooka, so what's not to love? Boomerang Fu, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, Snipper Clips, the Jackbox games, Escape Academy, Go Vacation. There are so many incredible local multiplayer games that I've played over the years, and while many can also be played online, there's something different about sharing the screen with all the other players, something that makes it so much more intimate an experience and so much more fun. Make Way is the latest local multiplayer game to take my family by storm. Me and my brother played it last year when we went to the Insomnia Game Festival. It wasn't the only game we played and enjoyed when we were there, and while I did end up putting it on a list of games from the event that I wanted to buy, I never ended up getting it because that list is way too long at this point, as well as the list of games I own but haven't completed, hence why this video series needed to be created. But when we saw Make Way as part of a deal on Xbox that my brother was taking advantage of, we figured we may as well give it a go. After all, through our vague memories, we remembered we'd enjoyed it. The game did not disappoint. In it, you select pieces of a track every round and build with that piece. After building with your piece, you have to race on the pieces you've created. Then the next round begins, you select pieces, build, race, and so on. You'll end up with a fairly long course to drive on towards the end of a match, and it will usually be quite hectic. You score points in 3 ways. Each race has checkpoints set down, which generally correlate to the sections you've placed, and you score points if you manage to reach these checkpoints without falling off. You also get points for being first across the finish line, and there's some sort of special comeback bonus points, which, I'll be honest, I don't really understand, but it feels good whenever you get it. Once you hit 4,000 points by the end of a round, you win. If 2 players both hit 4,000 points in the same round, it goes to a sudden death, where all barriers are removed and the last player standing wins. The gameplay itself is very Micro Machines-esque, which is awesome because it's another game I've played a lot with my family over the years. If you fall too far behind the other players, you'll be despawned and will be out until you're spawned back in at the next checkpoint. You also have items that can make you larger, let you shoot or slow down other players, or wreak havoc with their controls. The game feels really good to play. It feels easy to control your vehicle, the items are mostly fun and intuitive, and so on. I also feel like there's some sort of comeback mechanic in terms of the driving. When playing, the driver at the back seems to always be able to catch up if they're playing at least decently well. This de-emphasises trying to outrun your opponents and instead encourages your own endurance or, if the situation allows, trying to push them off the track. I think this is a really good thing as it adds to the mania that makes a game like this really work. You start with a relatively modest showing of items to place down, but eventually you get loop-de-loops, jumps, traffic, disappearing blocks, and lots of crazy things that add all sorts of dynamics to your races. And that's just the actual physical track parts. That's not even considering the stage hazards that you can add. Barriers, bumpers, trampolines, ice, fans. There's so much potential for carnage. It didn't take us long to unlock everything, but that just means we were able to enjoy the game to its full extent for longer. You have a bunch of cars you can use, some being unlockable, and these seem to have their own attributes and stats. I haven't settled on a favourite yet, but there are some pretty fun additions that feel really interesting to use. There are also multiple game modes, which change how you'll approach races. One mode has walls around the entire course and very few stage hazards, so the focus is squarely on racing. Another has walls only on corners and does have stage hazards, And then there's just the Chaos mode, which, yeah, is exactly what you think it is. I personally like Classic the best, but all of the modes are fun in their own way. I've played this several times with my family when I've seen them over the past few weeks, and it's been a blast. If you're looking for a fun game to play with family or friends when you get together, look no further, because Make Way is well worth trying to get your next local multiplayer fix.